Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is 15 Minutes a Game. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Today I thought we could go over the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl trailers. Really teaser trailers that just came out today. If you're new to the channel, if you can leave a like, God forbid subscribe, that'd be very helpful to me. And I'd really appreciate that. But also, if you're new and you don't know, I'm kind of a long-term Pokemon fan. I've been a fan of the series, the anime, for as long as I can remember. Watched the original Kanto to Sinnoh. Sinnoh's about where I stopped when that ended. Been playing the games since Sapphire forward, except for the past 5 years or so. I think the last game, the last game I did buy was Pokemon Moon, which was okay. It's pretty good for a Pokemon game. That was the last one I got. I didn't buy Sword and Shield, and then I didn't buy Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu I kind of thought was too much of an oversimplification of the series. So it wasn't really for me, someone who is very familiar with the series, to have kind of a dumbed down version of it. I totally get why they did that. And I was, I'm fine with that, but it wasn't really for me. Pokemon Sword and Shield, I could not justify paying $60 for that game. I have a video on my channel if you want to check that out. I'll probably do one of those little cards that pops up on the screen if you want to click it. But basically, it was graphically unimpressive, especially for a game that was coming out on the most powerful system a Pokemon game has ever come out on. It was underwhelming. It wasn't really worth the $60. It seemed incomplete, so I didn't get it, and I still haven't gotten it. But today we got trailers for the remakes of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which I'm kind of excited for. I thought, it would be a good idea if we could sit down together and watch the trailers like a big old family. And I can give my first impressions on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And I thought, they announced what Pokemon Legends Arceus, I believe it's called. Arceus. Apparently I was pronouncing it wrong my entire life. But I thought we could take a look at those, and I'll give my first impressions and thoughts on it, and things I'd maybe like to see that I didn't see, things that I liked, Alright, let's get into it. Alright, let's start with the trailers for Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond. Just FYI, I'm probably going to be talking over this or pausing it to say some long-winded thing, so just be prepared for that, alright? Let's get into it. Love the snap. The best thing they've done with the Switch is that, snapping noise. Alright, starting off with massaging your nostalgia. Get your nostalgia properly massaged. Little fun facts, because why not? I'm here. That opening music to Diamond and Pearl, I really had to skip. Really had to skip that when I was first playing the game back in 2007, because it would scare the hell out of me. It was a very creepy creepy sound, fitting for a Giratina. I don't know if that was the same intro song for Platinum. Didn't own that game. I owned Pearl, but that was a very scary music for me back when I was 11 or 12 when that came out. Look at that brilliance in diamond fonts. Alright, so really early on, something I wasn't necessarily expecting was for it to kind of be going back to sprites. I'm not necessarily opposed to it. And I guess looking at those letters now, are those unknown on that sign? Whatever. But I wasn't expecting it to kind of go back to a top-down sprite format, which I'm not necessarily opposed to. I'm not incredibly excited for it, but I was kind of expecting more of at the very least, an Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby kind of vibe to it. But this is fine. It's fine. I'm not, super excited for return to sprites like this, but it's fine. And it does seem to be a very faithful recreation. Battles look better, definitely. I do like that. That was kind of more of what I was expecting it to look like in the overworld. This is fine. That actually looked like... I think that was I wonder if they're bringing back, what did they call it? They called it like the underground or something. Like you had to like get to it by using your bottom screen. It was like you could have bases down there, and you can travel it, and you can mine for like shiny stones, like evolution stones, and I think some gems you could sell like that, which was pretty cool. I actually didn't think about that. Would be happy to see that back and kind of revamped. That was an interesting thing from Sword and Shield, kind of an evolution, or not Sword and Shield, from Diamond and Pearl, kind of an evolution of the tree houses in Alpha and Sapphire. Hoping the combat, sorry, hoping the combat kind of looks a little better. It's fine. Alright. That's about it. So, some kind of quick thoughts on that. So again, the sprites, I'm fine with. I'm not blown away by the sprites or anything like that. This is really more of a teaser, so I didn't really see anything like incredibly interesting. It seems to be more of a faithful kind of recreation of Diamond and Pearl, which I'm hoping it's not just a recreation of Diamond and Pearl. I mean, obviously keep all that good stuff in there from Diamond and Pearl, but I'm hoping they're adding things to it. One thing I would love to have seen in this trailer is kind of a return to Mega Evolutions. But again, this is a teaser trailer. It's going to be the first of, I'm sure, many trailers. So I'm sure, if they're going to have, they're keeping some things close to the vest, right? I'm hoping to see a return of new Mega Evolutions to this game. I'm sure Bidoof and his evolution could use a Mega Evolution. I'd love to see the starters have a Mega Evolution, kind of make things fresh, while still kind of sticking to the old style, right? I don't necessarily need to see Gigamax or Z moves in this game. Those were things that I didn't think were very impressive when I saw them in Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon. But I do love Mega Evolutions, so I'd love to see those brought back. I think Mega Evolutions is kind of the favorite of the battle quote-unquote gimmicks that Nintendo has been loving to do with every new region in Pokemon lately. So hoping to see Mega Evolutions back. The game looks good. It looks good. I'm not disappointed. I'm not, I'd be interested. You've piqued my interest. Let's see if they can keep it. One thing I don't want to see with this game is kind of DLC. I'd love to see, like, in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they had I think it was like the Delta episode it was called, this extra post-story that was not in the original games. I'd love to see that in this game. Something like that, some new stuff in addition to the old stuff, because that's really what a remake, I think, should be. Add some new stuff in there. I'd love to see that. And I'd love to see the Battle Frontier that was in Platinum. I know that wasn't in the original Diamond and Pearl, but it was in Platinum, so I'd love to see the Battle Frontier here, because they really missed that opportunity with Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, I felt, to not have the real deal Battle Frontier in that game. So I'd love to see it here. It looks like, I think I saw the contest hall in this trailer, so love to see that brought back. Contests were okay. I didn't mind them. I'd love to see them. Maybe revamped it a little bit, made it a little more interesting. I think this was the last game we saw contests. I know in Black and White they had like a fashion show kind of thing, but that's not really the same, is it? Yeah, I think that's all my thoughts on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Love to learn more. I hope they don't put DLC in the game to add, a post game like they do with Sword and Shield. I'm hoping not to see that. I hope nothing from the original games like Pokemon, and I think they said all the Pokemon that you saw in Diamond and Pearl are going to be available in this one. So that's good. I'm hoping that remains true, and none of them are going to be locked behind DLC like with Sword and Shield. I'm hoping like Battle Frontier is not going to be locked behind Sword and Shield or behind DLC. If they can do that, I'm very interested in buying it. I don't know what the price point for this game is at this point. I'd assume it's going to be $60, which is much higher than the $40 the original cost 15 years ago. But, I get it. It's 2020, 2021. The games are coming out on the Switch. I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation for a price hike. just make that price hike worth it, right? So without further ado, I see that Pokemon Legends Arceus trailer in the top right.
This is a tale from a long, long time ago, when the Sinnoh region was still only a vast wilderness.
So I like that. I like that concept for this. I was not expecting. I don't think anybody was expecting another game on top of this one that seems to be in the mainline series games. I like the concept of kind of going back in time to more wilderness style Sinnoh region. I think that's an interesting concept. I like that. That's interesting.
A certain village bustled with the comings and goings of people, while in the mountains and seas, Pokémon roamed as they pleased.
I don't think Steel and Celio were in Sinnoh at all ever, but I guess in the past, why not? All right, so I think I should probably touch on this. Game footage is not final. I'm sure that's a very important thing. Graphically, it's the region, and this is what they're showcasing, right? I think it looks a little lackluster. It's very much in the vein of Sword and Shield, which I didn't, really like that much, but it does seem to have an interesting story, so, I can still be won over. Again, this is the first trailer, right? Let's keep going. Bedoofs. Very kind of Naruto style village. And it still looks like Don and whatever the original dude is called. I don't know if he ever had a name. And I don't think we've ever seen throwing Pokeballs outside of battle before. That's interesting. That Chingling looks a little. I saw this when I first watched the trailer. The movement, the animation of that Chingling seems a little laggy, right? And that was one of the gripes I had with Sword and Shield, and which is why I didn't get it. Again, this is not final footage, right? So anything can happen, but I don't know if the animation for attacks look much better. Like from that Bidoof, the Voodoo in the background, I believe it's called, was having the same issue that I saw before with the Chingling. Let's see if I can pause it this time. It's like stuttering, right? Again, this is not final footage, right? Anything can change, but I felt like the same way with Sword and Shield when the kind of first trailers came out. I felt the same way, and it didn't really change when the game was ultimately released. The background, now that I've paused this and I'm looking at it, the foreground looks better, but the background looks very minimal. Like, there's not much detail, not much texture back there. Mount Coronet looks good. Obviously, it should probably be a silhouette all the way back there, but like in that bottom right area or that mid right area, texture looks not good. Anything can change, but it doesn't look very impressive as I think they want it to be. Village looks fine. Now this is interesting too. I think everybody's kind of had this idea, but obviously these are none of the Sinnoh starters: Oshawott, Rowlet, and Cyndaquil, and these are the ones you get to choose from. That's interesting to me. Like when I was younger, when I was a kid, I thought it would be cool to have a Pokemon game where you can go to all the regions and kind of pick whatever Pokemon you wanted and kind of go back and forth between those regions using these different Pokemon that you wouldn't normally see in those regions. I thought that was a cool idea, and this is kind of a little bit like that. So I appreciate that. I think that's a good idea. This is not actual gameplay footage. If you're a little confused, you don't actually do stencil art. The Pokeballs are weird. I like the design of the Pokeballs. There's Big Daddy Arceus, apparently. Sitting there in the back. doing his classic, I'm gonna stand on my two back legs and shine, baby. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Alright, so that's it, right? Well, that's about it. So that's coming out in, I think, early 2022, they said. So obviously, I'm sure they're keeping things close to the vest. I'm sure we haven't seen everything with this, but it feels very Sword and Shield to me, and it doesn't feel like necessarily a massive improvement on what was done in Sword and Shield. The story does, or what it hints at for a story, being, I assume, maybe 100 or so years before the events of Diamond and Pearls, maybe further back. That's interesting. Kind of a world we have, it's making Sinnoh fresh. It's a world we haven't seen within a world we have seen, so it's interesting in that regard, and I do appreciate that. So that's interesting to me. The story seems more engaging than what I saw in Sword and Shield. So that's a plus, but graphically it's not very impressive to me. And I don't live and die by graphics. I say that all the time, but this game is touting its open world, and I don't think the open world looks that great. You know what I mean? It's kind of a big wilderness area, which is cool. I like the concept of that, but it just doesn't look spectacular. It looks a little back. It doesn't look like something that would come out on the Switch. You know what I mean? Like Mario Odyssey. I say this all the time. Mario Odyssey looks great. Most of the Mario games look great. Like the Mario Bowser's Fury that just came out. My friend showed it to me, and it looked amazing. Like, I'd love something that looks like that. Pokemon Snap looked great. I want something to look great, because it can, So don't hold back on me, I feel. Obviously, from what I've seen in this trailer, it seems like some of the Pokemon animations are a little stuttery, which I don't really want to see. Again, not final footage, so who knows, right? But this game I'm more excited for than Sword and Shield, and I'd love to get a game. I'd actually love to get a game for the Switch that I've had for 2 years and own like one game on it. Love to get a Pokemon game for it. So, I'm very interested in Pokemon Legends, seeing what they announce down the line. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping, it looks like, I don't know if it's like a full game, you know what I mean? It seems like it's more of a, kind of like a DLC kind of expansion, it's giving me that kind of vibe. We don't know much about the story, right? So, for now, it's giving me that vibe, but, that can change. I'm sure there are going to be trailers down the line. So that's kind of my thoughts on Pokemon Legends Arceus and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Let me know, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Yell at me in the comments. Feel free to do that. This has been 15 Minutes of Game. Thank you for watching. If you can leave a like, God forbid subscribe, it'd be very helpful to me and the channel. Thank you for watching. I'm hoping this day was not a disappointment for you. I don't think it was for me, even though I was very prepared to be very disappointed. I didn't even think we were going to get trailers today because it seemed too good to be true, right? I'll be back with more, as the game releases more trailers. I might come back and comment on them if I think there's something worth commenting on. I don't necessarily like these reaction style vehicles, I was going to say videos. I don't know. But happy to do them, and I wanted to talk about this. I don't necessarily like to talk about things just to talk about them. So it's very looking forward to this, and I'm very looking forward to Nintendo kind of reining back in Pokemon. And I think, this is a good start, at least in terms of story. They're, good start. Not much to see. I'm sure much is gonna be announced later. So thank you for watching. I'll be back with more Pokemon videos as I see fit. I've got a lot of other kind of walkthroughs on the channel, so if you want to check those out, feel free to. I've got some video essays that talk about Pokemon issues. Pokemon issues and things I've liked about Pokemon, so if you want to check those out, feel free to. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your Pokemon day.